Look, don't get me wrong, football is without a doubt the best and most beautiful sport in the world. It's capable of bringing people together and creating brilliant moments no matter at what level the game is being played. But to be a dedicated fan, you have to be a little bit of a nut because this sport can be nothing but pain. Of course, if you're watching this video, if you clicked on this, realistically, football plays a big part of your life. Whether you're playing it on the daily, whether you used to play, whether you watch it all the time, football is playing a big part of your life in one way or another. And I can definitely say that's the case for myself. I have spent countless hours of my life playing the game, watching the game. I met pretty much all of my friends playing football, and again, most of my best memories in life come from either playing football, playing FIFA, doing something football related, going to watch a game. You get the point, right? But oh my god, for me on a personal level, football can be very, very cruel. And yes, I'm gonna share my personal experience, but I can't help but feel like there's gonna be so many people that relate to what the heck I'm saying. It just so happens to be that my personal case is a very, very treacherous one. I can still enjoy the game for what it is. Like I said, football is beautiful, countless memories, but I just cannot catch a damn break when it comes to the teams that I support. And it's these teams as a supporter of them that just make football such a cruel sport to watch throughout the year. And real quick, boys, before I get into these teams that drive me nuts, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the video. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. We drop weekly football videos. And if you're not new to the channel, boys, welcome back. Glad to have you around for another video. With that being said, boys, I need to share my personal experience as a football fan and how devious it has been for me over these last couple of years. Now, as you can see through my background here, I'm a United fan. I don't think that's much of a surprise if you're really watching the video. And of course, you're probably gonna assume this guy's probably just a United fan because he's glory hunting, right? But I actually have one very specific reason I support United, and it's because of this guy here. So I really started supporting United in about 2010 when Chicharito joined the club following the World Cup. I mostly watched just Mexican League soccer as a kid, but he introduced me to the European game after moving from Chivas to United. I'm a Chivas supporter. They're the team that I really first got into as a kid, but I'll get into them just a little bit later. So of course, being Mexican, being a Chivas fan, and having Chicharito join one of the best clubs in the world at that point, of course I followed the move. And of course, as we know, he would go on to kill it at the club. So with that, I fell in love with the team, I got into the lore, and I stuck as a United fan. At that point, of course, United was a completely different beast to what they are now, but really at that age, I was probably too young to really enjoy it. And as I've grown into an adult, this club has just brought me nothing but pain. Okay, you know what? Maybe that's a little bit hyperbolic. We have won a few domestic cups here and there. We've finished second a few times. We've won the Europa League. And even surprisingly, here and there, we've gotten some good results that really shocked a lot of people and just left us feeling with a lot of joy, you know? We've also had some high dopamine crazy signings like Pogba, Ibra, Bruno, Cristiano Ronaldo on my birthday. And there's been things to hold on to as a United fan over the last decade. But if we're being real, the negatives probably outweigh the positives. I don't even know where to get started, but it has literally just been bad year after bad year after bad year after bad news after bad thing happening over and over and over again. We've gone through a constant cycle of managers not being able to stick to just one poster Alex Ferguson. We've had so many embarrassing results. Most recently, we lost to 4th Division Grimsby, and this is not the first time something like this has happened in the last 10 years. We have not won the league since Sir Alex Ferguson's last year. That is such an embarrassment considering how much money has been poured into this club. And the crazy thing is, we haven't even really gotten close. I've mentioned that we finished second a couple of times over the last decade, but even when we did finish second, we were miles behind first place. So really, it was just a ruse. And don't even get me started on the graveyard of failed transfers at the club. Depay, Falcao, Di Maria, Pogba even, Sancho, Martial, Anthony, and even then there's probably so many others that went flying under the radar because of how non-relevant they were. And all of this, right, just has culminated in so many memes being made about United. I can't go 1 week without something popping up on the timeline that's just a meme of the club. If we win a game 7-0, I guarantee you there's gonna be 1 or 2 memes about the club. Win, meme. Lose, meme. Draw, meme. We've gotten to a point where we are just a banter club. Nothing we can do unless we win the league, which is not looking likely anytime soon, is gonna bring some banter our way. We can never make good progress because when we do finish second or we do win win a trophy, the club just decides to go backwards for whatever reason. We literally just almost got relegated. I mean, what more do I have to say to that? We almost got relegated. In my tenure as a United fan, I was too young to really enjoy the best moments of the club. But of course, as I become an adult, we just go on to have the worst period of the club in recent history. It just so happened to be my luck, right? And it doesn't stop with United. Like I said, Chivas was my club well before Chicharito made the move, and I stuck with them even after I decided to support United. It's a pretty common thing here in the United States to have, an allegiance for multiple teams, and realistically, Chivas was the first club that I supported, mostly watching the Mexican League, so of course, I'm always going to be a fan of. That's the club that really, like I'd say, I've been supporting my whole life. And really, it has not been pretty for them either. I'd say my earliest memories of watching Chivas were golden because really that's when they were last peak, between 2006 and 2010. Don't even get me started on the legendary players that they just had back then. Hector Reynoso, El Bofo, Young Chicharito, Ramon Morales, Michel, and so many others. They made the Libertadores final, they won the Apertura 2006 season. They would go toe to toe with great sides across South America. But of course, those were all memories that were potentially too good for me to witness at an adult age. Because as soon as I start growing up and growing to an adult where I will actually enjoy what's going on with the team more, everything just goes to because since that period, it has just been diabolical to watch this club. Chivas has become a shadow of their former selves, and I've been front and center to watch the whole thing unfold. They stopped producing the best Mexican talent and also started to purchase mediocre talent. Form would fall off a pitch in 2011, and we went through 9 coaches in 3 years. We even brought in Cruyff to be an advisor, and that still didn't help. We were in danger of being relegated, but luckily the powers that be wouldn't let this happen. We went 11 years with no trophy, and since our last one, we are now 9 years in. We've had so many mediocre finishes in the league, we've had so many embarrassing results, and as a whole, it's just been not pretty to watch. We've had some good periods here and there, yes, but just like United, we weren't able to build off them. We won Liga MX under Almeida in 2017, but have not won it since. We did make the final in 2023, but we bottled it. So pretty much a lot of stuff that I talked about with United coincides with what's been going on with Chivas. So essentially, with both the clubs that I give my most affiliation to, it's just been disaster after disaster. I love this sport. I watch it week in and week out. So many different games, everything about football. I'm enthralled. I have a channel. I talk about it on a weekly basis, and yet I suffer the most. Maybe I'm just cursed. Maybe it's just me, because even now my beloved Oakland Roots haven't been doing as good as I would hope for them to be. I have hope they will turn things around, but maybe it's just the sporting gods punishing me. And don't even get me started on La Seleccion. Mexico, the nation that I most identify with, the national team that I support all the time, have been bummed. Just like Chivas, just like United, we cannot actually progress. Anytime we do something well, we end up taking 5 steps back right after. In my lifetime, we have not gotten past the round of 16. That curse has been very powerful in my time watching football, and it doesn't look like things are getting any better. If anything, as an adult, as an older person, things have gotten worse. The last 6 years, you could say this team is probably in the worst state that it's been in a very long time. So literally, no matter where I turn, this sport just decides to punish me in more ways that it gives me joy. At least when it comes to the teams that I support. I don't think I'm alone in this, because most teams don't always win, but sometimes I just can't help but think it's just my luck.